Are you a judgmental Christian? Sounds like a bit of a judgmental thing to say. To even say, are you judgmental? I'm being judgmental myself. I know. But Jesus says in Matthew chapter 7, do not judge others and you will not be judged. Sounds very simple, but is it really that easy? And do we sometimes judge when we know we shouldn't? Now, I was on the tram about a week ago, heading to Manchester Airport. And if you know the tram line in Manchester, it doesn't always go through the best area on the way to the airport. And there was a guy who got on and he sat there drinking beer. He looks a little bit out of it. And I start making judgments about him. As he's necking another bottle, I'm sat there thinking, this is the time when the police should board the tram. This is when a ticket inspector should come on. That guy shouldn't be allowed on this tram. He's drinking beer. He's breaking the rules. Why is he allowed to beer? What kind of person is this anyway? And before you know it, I start judging this man. I've built up a picture of why he's doing all these wrong things and he shouldn't be allowed to continue, and I am judging him. And a few minutes later, he turns around and he says to me, all right, mate, do you want a drink? Do you drink? And I'm like, no, it's cool, bro. I'm teetotal. He goes, no, do you want a Corona? And then he asked me, where are you going? What are you doing? And in that moment, I felt so convicted that I'd been judging him. You know, we look at people externally, we look on the outside and we make a judgment about them. They're a bad person, they're an alcoholic, they're dangerous, they shouldn't be allowed on this, they should blah, blah, blah. And I really felt God convict me. Tim, what are you doing judging this man? In some ways, he's been friendlier than you have. He's been kinder than you have. He's offered you, okay, shouldn't have. He's offered you a beer on the tram. He's trying to be sociable. And we started having a conversation and my heart just changed towards him. I felt, God, forgive me. I'm sorry for being judgmental. I want this guy to know you, Jesus. I want him to encounter you. He's clearly a bit of a mess. He's clearly broken. He's clearly damaged. He's going through some of things which is causing him to turn to having a 12-pack on the tram at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And as we were chatting and he asked me what I did, so I told him I make Christian content. I'm a follower of Jesus. I said, I'm not being religious. It's a relationship with Jesus. That's what truly counts. And he was then a little bit interested, but he said, yeah, that's like Catholicism. I had to say, I'm sorry, my friend. I don't mean to offend you. It's not like Catholicism. It's not about religion. Oh, I need to go and confess my sins to the priest. No, you don't. You just come to Jesus directly. We had a great conversation. I thought, I don't care who's listening to me on the tram. In fact, this may be reaching them too. And on the tram, we prayed together. I prayed for him, for God to bless him, God to open his eyes to the truth, for Jesus to reveal himself and show him his love. It was a beautiful moment. He got off the tram, then he got back on it. In fact, he stayed the whole way to Manchester Airport to keep on chatting. You could see that God was clearly working in his life. And yet, here was me, the wonderful Christian, the Christian who creates content online. And yet I'm sat there judging him. And I almost missed an opportunity to share God's love with someone who was open to it because of my own judgmental attitudes. That's why Jesus says, do not judge others. Who do I think I am to judge someone else? How do I think I'm better than someone else? Nobody likes a self-righteous person. I don't think anyone has met someone who's arrogant and cocky and judgmental and religious and thinks, I wish I could be like that person. It stinks, doesn't it? Around someone like that is horrible. It's not a pleasant encounter. How dare I judge someone else, putting myself above them, saying I'm better than them? No, the Bible says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. It's acknowledging all of us. It's not me here pointing the finger at you. If you're not yet a Christian watching this, I'm not pointing the finger at you saying you're a bad person, you're a sinner, you need to accept Jesus. I'm saying we're all bad people. We all fall short. We all need to accept Jesus and surrender to him. And don't judge other people. If you understand your position before God, that we're all equal before God, you're not going to go making judgments of other people saying they're a bad person in your mind. They should be this, that, and the other. Jesus says, you will be treated as you treat others. So if I am someone judgmental and I go around putting other people down in my mind, if I make judgments about them, disqualifying them from the love of God in my mind, Jesus says you're going to be treated the same way. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. Don't judge other people. If you have a habit of doing it, ask God to help you. Ask God to give you a realistic view of yourself. Listen to what Jesus says. I mean, it's incredible. Chapter 7, verse 3 of Matthew. Why worry about a tiny speck of sawdust in your friend's eye? Now, I make furniture as a bit of a side hustle. I get a lot of sawdust all over my body, all over my house when I come back in, and it's everywhere. It's not pleasant when you get sawdust in your eye. And Jesus would have worked with wood. His stepdad, Joseph, was a carpenter. So Jesus would have worked with wood. He would have cut his finger in the carpenter shop. He didn't have power tools. Jesus was hensed. He was muscular, making things by hand. But he would have been used to getting specks of sawdust in your eye. It's not pleasant. You want to get it out. So he says, why do you worry about a tiny little speck of sawdust in your friend's eye, annoying though that is, when you've got a plank of wood in your own eye? It seems absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it? How ludicrous. It's completely bonkers that I'm here looking at you saying, bro, you've got something in your eye. You've got like a tiny speck of sawdust. And all the while, boing, I've got a 3-meter plank of wood in my eye. Sounds ridiculous. Sounds crazy. And yet, how often do we do that when we make judgments of other people? How can you think of saying to your friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your own eye, when you can't see past the log in yours? How can I say, bro, let me help you get that thing out? I've got this 3-meter plank of wood in my eye. Get your priorities right. Focus on yourself. Stop judging other people. How do we do that practically? By looking at ourselves. Jesus says, don't judge others. And this is how you stop judging other people. You look at your own shortcomings instead of theirs. Hypocrite. Ouch. That hurt. Jesus does not pull punches. Jesus is not always the meek and mild who you've been taught he is. Hypocrite. He calls me and you a hypocrite. Ow. That hurts, Jesus. That wounds me. First, get rid of the log in your own eye. Deal with your own sin. Deal with your own shortcomings. Deal with your own failures. Deal with your own mess. Deal with your own baggage. Realize you have enough problems going on. You have enough baggage going on that you need to deal with on your own. Then you will see well enough to deal with a speck in your friend's eye. Deal with your own mess. Firstly, focus on your own shortcomings, asking God to help you, and then you can help your friend. Why? Because you won't come in from a place of judgment and saying to them, man, you've got that tiny speck, that's awful. You'll say, mate, if only you knew what I've been dealing with, if only you knew how bad I am, and how much I fail God and let him down, and what God's been working on in me and changing me, what I can see in you is as if it's nothing. I really want to help you and pray for you. What's going on? What's causing you to be like that? Why are you reacting like that? What I really want to help you to grow. What is Jesus exposing in your life? Now, these words from Jesus should challenge us. They shouldn't always make us feel comfy, like we're having a hug and a nice blanket by the fire. Sometimes the words of Jesus should make us feel pretty uncomfortable because he wants to challenge us. He wants to change us. You don't have to change yourself to come to Jesus. You come as you are. You come as a mess. You come broken. You ask him to forgive you. But he loves you too much to keep you the same. He loves you so much he wants to change you. He wants to make you more like him, to be a reflection of him to the world around you. I pray that Jesus would help me and help you to not be judgmental, but to deal with the mess in our own hearts. And then from that place of humility, we can help other people. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He is the one.